that was something I did was I had to really shift who am I talking to, how am I talking to them, and can I do it in a clear, direct, spicy, punchy way that also reflects the belief I have in the offer and who I am and where I am taking it.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome back to the fucking pod. So happy to have you here. And we are diving into part two of exactly how I made 71K in sales over the last 90 days. If you haven't listened to part one yet, I highly recommend that you do because we are diving straight in and talking about the last two pieces of how this happened. And also, I want to speak to like the mindset, the resilience, the self-trust, because I think I talked about it on the pod, but I've definitely talked about it on Instagram, but just like how difficult the winter was for me. I still had recurring income coming in. And like I was still coaching clients and doing my thing, but just like mentally, it was rough. I had a lot of seasonal depression. My cat passed away. That was really difficult. Um, and we moved houses, and moving is a fucking nightmare for me. Like it's literally the most stressful, overwhelming thing fucking ever, and I'm a very resilient person, so it just spins me the fuck out. And then of course grief, and like the worst winter that Canada has had in not Canada, wow, I sound so American, that Ontario has had in like literally 25 years or something crazy. It was like 25 or 30 years we have not had that much snow. And of course, you don't really see the sun. It's just like gray. And oh my God, depression fucking city, you guys. Oh, and I decided to go off my anti-anxiety meds after the wedding last year. And that was a mistake because I kind of cold turkey went off of them. It's a whole thing. Anyways, so I had to rebound in the spring. The sun came out, and so did your coach Jill. She came out to play. And so I really turned things around in my own energy. I shot up my income again. And I did a lot of things that, I am so used to this though. Like I am so used to rebounding. I am so used to, you know, feeling like, okay, we need to ramp things up. And I never see it as a problem if at any point my income dips or if I have a problem in the business. And it just really has increased my fucking resilience over the years. So I think that's like super important. And I think that people sometimes see or have an issue in their business, or their income has a little dip, or they have an issue in the coaching program that they're in, or whatever the fuck it is, and they make it mean like it's the end of the world. They drop off, they're not consistent, and then they shut things down, or they go through like a deep, dark night of the soul, and they emerge and they have tons of like imposter syndrome and not feeling good enough. And I was just like not fucking available for that. So let's dive into the other things that I did for rebounding completely and making 71K in sales. So, the next thing I did after part one, okay, this is part two. The next thing I did was I solidified even further my messaging for my mastermind. And this is for all my fucking clients. And this is for everyone out there who thinks, okay, I'm just going to get the perfect words and then I'm going to sell and it's going to be easy as fuck. Okay. You will always be evolving your messaging. You will always be working on how can I say this cleaner? How can I say this tighter? How can I say this in a more clear and direct way? How can I say this with more punch, more fucking attitude, like spicier? And there is nothing fucking wrong with that. And there are gonna be times where you feel so fucking dialed in, and there's gonna be times where you're like, what the fuck do I say? And it's not a fucking problem. Okay. So when I was really figuring out, okay, I'm up leveling the messaging for this mastermind. I'm getting a lot more clear on it. I'm also eliminating what it used to be because I really saw it as like, okay, this is like a beginner step into my world. But then I started to sign clients into it and I was like, this is not how I want it to be. This is more up leveled. This is more of a deeper conversation. And that's what it has proven to be. It has proven to now be my signature mastermind. We're scaling to 10 to 20K months. That is the vibe inside of the mastermind. And like, this is a more elevated conversation that we're having, right? And I had to fit the messaging to suit that, and it felt sticky. It felt like, okay, what exactly am I saying? How exactly am I speaking to this client? Because it's not just about, okay, here are the results you're going to get. It's also about talking to your soulmate client, like directly talking to them and really calling out the like characteristics and who the kind of people that they are. And I think that is something that people miss is they try to talk about the results and the results only, or the outcomes or the desires, without also really hitting on like, but who do I want to work with? And like, who am I actually calling in that is going to get the greatest result in this offer? Because that really does matter. And I have coached enough people to know that this is like a very deep fear of like, what if I sign somebody and they don't get the result? This will hold clients back from really selling their offer, from launching it, from raising the rates for it, because it's a real fear of like, if they don't get the result, then I'm going to feel like shit. I'm not going to be able to sell it as hard, blah, 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 blah. So you also want to think about the kind of person that you are signing into the offer, not just about the results or the outcome that they're going to get, but also like, what are they ready for? Who are they going to have to be before they even come into the container? Who are they going to become? And do they even want that? Right. And I always talk about this, and it's in my Iconic Coach course that I ran for my clients back in the spring. And if you become a client, you get free access to that, and it's incredible. It was like a 6-week course that I ran for them on like being a really good coach and learning how to coach through subconscious blocks. And oh, it was just so juicy and so good. But I often talk about how coaching is an identity shift, and somebody who knows that they're coming into coaching also has the awareness, or we hope would have the awareness, that like, you are shifting on an identity level. It's not just do this, get this result. I don't fucking want to work. I don't fucking want to work with somebody who thinks that they're just going to come into one of my containers and I'm just going to say, do this and do that, without shifting on an identity level and actually becoming the person who does that easily, who becomes that easily. So that was something I did, was I had to really shift, who am I talking to? How am I talking to them? And can I do it in a clear, direct, spicy, punchy way that also reflects the belief I have in the offer and who I am and where I am taking it? And that was a big jump, because it used to be the From Imposter to Empowered program, and it just didn't feel evolved. It didn't feel like, okay, this is something that I would want to be a part of. And as soon as I had that thought, I was like, okay, we need to switch shit up. We absolutely do. And then lastly, because this is part deux, I went full feral in selling every single day on multiple channels, right? Like, you can always punch it up. You can always sell harder. You can always be too much. I really just like tapped into that full feral cycle version of myself, because I'm not immune to this either, you guys. Like, I am not immune to, being like, is this working? Are things compounding? Um, should I not sell this as often? Am I being too much? And the second I start to feel that happening, I'm like, ooh, I need to double down because I also need to be a fucking example to the clients that I am coaching as well. So that is something that I really challenged myself to do. And that was, again, going full feral, selling every single day on multiple channels. I created a free Telegram channel that started off with just my clients inside. I think I had like 10 or something inside at the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to drop free riffs in here and I'm going to use it as an opportunity to sell. And now I think they have like 40 plus at the time of this recording. And it's incredible. I love just fucking dropping in there and dropping riffs. I was like, how can I be more of service? And how can I sell even fucking harder? So I sell here on the pod. I sell in my free channel. I sell on my stories. I sell on my posts. I go full fucking feral in selling and selling multiple offers, right? Like not being caught up in, oh, well, I don't know how to sell more than one thing at a time, when really, like, is your low ticket offer really that similar to your high ticket offer? Absolutely not. You can sell more than one thing at a time, right? And that is an art. And I talk about that art and I teach that art in the Real Deal Mastermind and in my coaching, my one-to-one coaching. And that's what I did because consistency creates safety. I am consistent as fuck. And none of this is going to work if you're not. Like, it is not going to work if you're not consistent. And I know whoever is listening to this, if you're feeling like, okay, yeah, you're fucking right. Or if you're like, yeah, of course I already am consistent. So this is a no fucking brainer, then yeah, of course I was fucking consistent because that creates the safety and trust that is needed for you to blow the fuck up. Okay. My audience was never confused about what I did or how to work with me. I don't pretend to be somebody that is just like, oh, I'm an influencer, fucking sharing outfits, or me on a walk, or me and my coffee, or me doing what the fuck ever. I sell and I sell unapologetically. And that, again, is the vibe inside of the Real Deal Mastermind. In my one-to-one coaching, like, we double the fuck down. And again, like, this has to come from a place of self-belief. It has to come from a place of, I know that when I sell this offer, I am totally aligned with the fact that people are going to get results when they come into this offer. And in the Real Deal Mastermind, we actually had this as like a coaching question where my client was saying, in sales conversations, I don't want to be pushy. And I said, well, obviously there is so much nuance associated to a sales conversation. There is a time where, like, you can intuitively feel like, okay, this is not a conversation that I want to continue having. It seems like they say no and they don't want to, and that is totally fine. But there are times where someone is just scared, or they have fears, or they have hesitations, and you're afraid to ask questions. You're afraid to, you know, have the conversation with them because of your thoughts and your beliefs around, can I actually really help them? Like, can this offer actually help them get the results that they want? And we were having this conversation because when you're in full belief and full alignment with your offer, with the work that you do, when you believe that somebody is going to be better off because they are working with you, that is the confidence that you need to go fucking ham on your stories and your posts, taking up space, being too much, and selling the fuck out of your offers because you genuinely have the belief that people are better off when they work with you. And that is the kind of belief that we build in the Real Deal Mastermind, right? Even though, like, you've had clients, you're signing clients, like, that is happening for you, but you still have a piece of you that is playing a little bit smaller than you would like, that is not going full feral, full psycho like you fucking could. And that is when you know it's time for you to come into the real deal. So you compare that insane crazy, illogical levels of self-belief with the action, with the moves that will help you stack those 10 to 20K cash months inside of your business. So I hope you guys loved these two parts of how I made 71K in sales over the last 90 days. And as you can see, it is very simple, small tweaks, things that I did the way that I moved. Of course, this strategy is always the easiest part, but like the hard part is the self-belief. The hard part is the mindset. The hard part is the identity of somebody who feels like I am worthy and deserving of creating a big fucking business, of blowing the fuck up. The capacity thing too, right? The capacity thing of, okay, what's going to happen when I have X amount of clients or X amount of money? And can I hold that many clients? Can I hold that much money? These are all of the things that we really dive into in my one-to-one coaching and in the Real Deal Mastermind. So send me DM at your coach Jill and let's start the fucking conversation. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you next week.